This is the worst housing market since '08. These days, everyone is freaking out because home prices are through the roof, literally. I've been studying how the housing market has been moving for the past 2 years, and I'll tell you why it's a bad idea for most people to sell or to try to buy a house at a good price. If you watch this video until the very end, I'll tell you the best time that you can consider to sell or buy a house. So let's get started. One thing that I want to point out is that the US Central Bank, or what we call the Federal Reserve, might lower interest rates within a year or two. So let me tell you why this matters. Firstly, interest rates have a major impact on mortgage payments. If you buy before a rate decrease, you will end up paying way more money in interest than the money that you owe on the home. Higher interest rates lead to higher mortgage payments over time and over the life of the mortgage unless you decide to refinance, which is basically getting a new mortgage with a better interest rate to replace the old one if they do offer it. Secondly, lower interest rates typically increase housing demand, which leads to more competition and higher home prices. Waiting for lower rates could mean that you will be getting a bigger or newer home for the same amount of money. Think about this. When people buy homes, they focus on the monthly mortgage payments rather than the actual price tag of the home that they're buying. And this is for several reasons. The first being that monthly payments are more manageable for most buyers than paying for the entire price of the home. By spreading the cost of the home over a long period of time, which could be as long usually as 15 to 30 years, more buyers will be able to afford homes that will otherwise be outside of their price range. With monthly payments, buyers will be able to budget in their mortgage payments into their monthly expenses alongside other bills and obligations. This will make it easier for them to plan and manage their finances. Also, there are various financing options, such as fixed rate mortgages, which means that the interest rate over the life of the mortgage will not change. Adjustable rate mortgages are where interest rates can change, and government-backed loans, which usually offer the best interest rates. All of these offer different monthly payment options, which buyers can choose which of these options best suit their financial situation and or their preferences. Another thing to keep in mind is the down payment, which affects the overall loan amounts and monthly payments. Buyers often focus on the monthly payments because it is the ongoing financial commitment. However, a lower down payment may result in higher monthly payments, but it can also make home ownership more accessible in the short term. But in my opinion, it's better to put a bigger down payment so that the future mortgage payments are lower and more manageable in the future in case of any financial hiccups. These monthly payments typically include not only how much is owed on the home and interest on the loan, but also property taxes and homeowners insurance. These additional costs are spread out over the year, which makes it easier for buyers to add it into their monthly budget. Since buying a home is a long-term commitment, focusing on the monthly payments can help buyers understand whether they will be able to manage those payments over the life of the loan. It also allows them to compare different homes and financing options to find the most manageable choice for their budget and lifestyle. While the actual price tag of the home is important, it is the monthly payments that determine whether a home purchase is something that is financially reasonable for most buyers. Lower interest rates can make houses more affordable compared to if the price of the home increases, because when the interest rates are lower, mortgage payments decrease because borrowers pay less in interest each month, which lets you pay more of what you owe on the home. This means that buyers can be able to afford a bigger home or even a newer home for the same monthly payment that will pay for a different home if the interest rates were a lot higher. Mind you, if the price of the home increases but the interest rates remain the same, buyers will need to pay more for the same home each month. What lower interest rates do is increase the buyer's purchasing power, which is how much of something you can afford with the same amount of money. This allows them to qualify for larger loans. With the same monthly payment, buyers can afford a more expensive home when interest rates are lower. If the price of the home increases but interest rates remain the same, the buyer's purchasing power decreases, making homes less affordable. Lower interest rates also result in less interest paid over the life of the loan. Even if the price of the home increases, buyers could end up paying less money overall. Mind you, if interest rates remain high while home prices rise, buyers will pay more interest over the life of the loan, making home ownership more expensive in the long run. Lower interest rates can also stimulate housing demand. In other words, how many people are willing to be buying homes, which may lead to more competition between buyers. The competition can sometimes drive up home prices, but the effect on affordability depends on the balance between the price increases and the interest rate decreases. If home prices rise faster than interest rates decreases, homes become less affordable. However, if interest rates decrease faster than price increases, homes become more affordable. Lower interest rates also offer opportunities for homeowners to refinance their mortgages to lower monthly payments or shorten the loan term. Refinancing can make owning a home more affordable by reducing monthly expenses. If the home price increases but interest rate decrease, homeowners who bought at a higher rate may still be able to refinance in order to lower their monthly mortgage payments. While both interest rates and home prices affect affordability, lower interest rates generally make homes more affordable by reducing monthly payments, increasing purchasing power, and lowering the total interest interest paid over the life of the loan. There are some experts that think that in 2024 there will be a recession, which is when the economy isn't doing so well and people might lose their jobs. Some of them think that there is a 45% chance that we might have a recession in 2024. When there's a recession, it's risky to buy a house. If you lose your job, it could be harder for you to get a loan from the bank to buy the house that you want. Even if you're okay financially, a recession can still affect the housing market in your area. If lots of people are struggling to buy houses, it means there might not be enough homes for sale. That could make it harder for you to find the perfect home for you to buy. But if you have enough money saved up and you feel confident about your job security, there could be some good things about buying a house during a recession. Since fewer people are buying, there's less competition, which means you might find a really good home for a really good price. Plus, buying a home during a recession could be a smart investment for your future. If you're holding out for lower mortgage rates, a bit of patience would be a good idea. They have been increasing a lot recently, topping 8% in October before falling back below 7%, and now above 7% again. That's more than a full percentage point swing in just a few months. While 1% might not sound as much, it can make a big difference in how much house you can afford over the long run. For example, Bankrate's mortgage calculator shows that if you buy a $350,000 home with a 20% down payment, the monthly payment for principal, which is how much money you owe on the home, and interest on a 30-year loan with a 7% interest rate is $1,862. The same loan at 8% bring those monthly payments up to $2,054, $192 higher than the previous month. That's more than $2,300 each year, or $69,000 over the life of the loan. Of course, it's impossible to predict where rates will land by the summer, but here are 3 instances in which it may make more sense to wait out the market for at least a while if home values in your area are dropping. The country's median home price hit a record high in June 2022, according to NAR data. Since then, some hot metro areas have seen huge drops in median sale prices. Take Austin, Texas, for example. Refit data shows that the median price in Austin in June 2022 was $620,000. By June 2023, that was down to $601,500. And by the beginning of 2024, it was down much further to $509,280. These price drops may not be done yet, so it could be worth it to be patient for just a bit longer. Another is if more homes are being sold in your area. When there are more properties on the market to choose from, buyers enjoy being able to negotiate more. Since many buyers have been sitting on the sidelines due to the interest rate environment, some areas will see more houses being sold. However, according to NAR data, the country overall had just 3 months of housing supply in January, which is way too low for the amount of buyers that they are. Also, if your personal finances could use some love, the biggest reason to wait is if your current financial situation is not ideal. For example, if you're waiting for a sizable commission check or bonus, an inheritance, or some other windfall that could make a big difference in your down payments, waiting until it arrives makes sense. And if your credit score is low, waiting is also smart. Take some time to improve your credit and pay down your debts so you can qualify for better loan terms. So when you buy a house, you will start owning a little piece of it right away, which would be your down payment. It's like getting your special spot in your favorite park. This is called building equity, and it's kind of like saving money for your future. This is also something else to think about. Sometimes the cost of getting a loan to buy a house can change. It's like if the price of your favorite snacks went up at the store, it could mess up your budget. So some experts say that if you find a house that you really like, it might be a good idea to buy now instead of waiting. That way you don't have to worry about the cost going up later. Plus, if more people start looking for houses later and prices go up, you will already have yours. But here's the thing, buying a house is a big decision, like picking out the perfect birthday present. So if you're sure you're ready, here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Do you really like the house and you can imagine yourself living there for a long time? Can you afford to make the monthly payments without it being too hard on your family's monthly budgets? Are you ready to take care of a house, like mowing the lawn and fixing things when they break? If you can say yes to all of these questions, then it might be a good time for you to buy a house. Remember, it's okay to take your time and find the right house for you and your family. Before I tell you when I think is a good time to sell or buy a home, please subscribe if you find value in this video, and so you do not miss out on future videos on real estate and finances. Now, this is when it might be a good time for you to buy a house. Buying a home when interest rates are low is a great idea because it typically results in lower monthly mortgage payments. Low interest rates mean that you can borrow money at a lower cost, which can save you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Monitoring interest rate trends and locking in a favorable rate can make home ownership more affordable. It's very important to consider whether you can comfortably afford home ownership based on your financial situation. Consider factors such as your income, savings, debt to income ratio, and credit score. Ideally, your monthly mortgage payments should be manageable. Usually, homeowners aim for the mortgage being 30% or less of their income. So if you make $6,000 per month, your mortgage should be no higher than $1,800. That way you can cover other essential expenses expenses and save for emergencies and future goals. Make sure to analyze the local housing market conditions to determine if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. In a buyer's market, there may be more houses available for sale, which will lead to lower prices and more negotiation power for buyers. However, a seller's market often has less homes available for sale. This may lead to higher prices and increased competition among people who want to buy a home. Understanding market dynamics can help you make informed decisions about when is a good time to buy. Also, consider how home ownership can go with your financial goals. You need to consider factors such as stability, investment potential, tax benefits, and how long you can afford the home. If you plan to stay in the same area for several years and you view home ownership as a long-term investment, buying a home may be a good option. However, if you think that you may move somewhere else or prefer flexibility, renting will probably be a better choice. You have to also be thinking about saving for a down payment and covering closing costs, which is what you have to pay to secure the home, are essential aspects of buying a home. While a larger down payment typically results in lower monthly payments and lower interest paid over time, it's very important to balance your down payment with other financial responsibilities, such as closing costs, origination fees, appraisal fees, and title insurance when you are budgeting for your home purchase. Also, consider your future financial stability and potential life changes, such as career advancements, growing or starting a family, or unexpected expenses. Make sure that you have stable income and enough emergency savings to cover any financial challenges that may happen after buying a home. Planning for the unexpected can help lessen the financial risks that come with home ownership. By considering these financial factors, you could determine if it is the right time for you to choose to buy a home that aligns with your financial goals, budget, and personal circumstances. It's essential to do your own research, consult with financial professionals when needed, and make informed decisions based on your individual situation.